Hi there, and thank you for attending. This module is occasionally required during brief periods of speculation. Today will serve as a history lesson for all of you. Not many of you will remember life on the surface. However, this is more to say that living underground is infinitely preferable, and therefore there is no need to speculate any further. Today will serve as a reminder to the past, and while it may seem upon reflection that life on the surface was better, please be assured that life underground is better, more predictable, safer, more stable. Down here, you are protected from the threats that the surface cannot. And so, sit back and enjoy this brief trip through history from surface to underground. During periods of stability, there is always a mild increase in a return to the surface. Please note that this is fleeting and it will pass. The purpose of this overview is to contextualize your interest and return your attention to living below the surface. We begin, of course, with a little nostalgia. And here there will be two distinct groups of you. The first is those who remember life on the surface. Well, we all know how tricky memories can be. It may well be that what you remember isn't quite as it was on the surface. And today we will help you to remember it as it really was. The other group, the youngsters among us, will have never seen the surface and have only heard about it through anecdote and story. In the interests of sharing, today we will show you some images of the surface, as well as making you aware of any of the dangers that present themselves above ground. There really is something here for everyone if you attend carefully. So let us begin with some images of the surface before. Enjoy! What a treat the surface once was. Sunlight, crowds, vehicles in traffic, children playing in playgrounds, cities, beaches, cafes, time to sit and reflect. The surface was stimulating. People were exposed to one another constantly. You could run into anybody at any time. They described this as freedom. It created intense emotional attachment, which was not for all. The surface no longer resembles this forgotten time. The sunlight is fleeting now. Empty streets, empty buildings, nobody, nothing. nothing broken. And you'll notice there is no visible damage. Surface danger does not present visually. Please remember this. It is important to remember that footage can be deceptive. Radiation, pathogens, psychological alteration. All of these things are bountiful on the surface. Looking at these charts, you can see that the evidence is clear. Our greatest scientists will tell you that prolonged surface exposure will lead to cognitive instability and psychological contamination. Those who have recently been to the surface report disorientation, fixation, and heavy bouts of non-compliant thinking. These effects are cumulative and require immediate treatment. Early symptoms that may result in hospitalization include curiosity. We know, however, that this is not always your fault. The surface itself encourages fixation. If you feel you may be suffering from an instability that is not your fault, please report to your nearest infirmary and somebody will see you immediately. There are recordings of surface hazards, however, it will do you no good to view them. And after all, you have our word for it. The danger is very clear and very present. It is right in front of your face. In order to help you make informed decisions regarding underground and the surface, it might now help to give you some comparisons, something to think about, something to hold on to, and something to assist you in making up your mind about where is the best place for you right now. Let's begin with the surface. Whilst life was busy, the surface was unpredictable. People believed they had freedom. The only freedom is underground. Today, environmental conditions are stable, and there are no harmful variables to be found underground. Comfort is consistent, and because of that, underground residents sleep that much better. Community is also taken into account. Back then, families, physical touch, large gatherings, contact was largely unsupervised. Emotions spread quickly. Grief was inefficient. Now, we have specially designed separated living units, and everyone enjoys their assigned social periods. Interactions are structured. Distress is contained. No one is overwhelmed. Support is always available. If you feel that you need support, please report to your nearest infirmary, where someone will see you immediately. Next comes identity. Your name, your face, your individuality. Back then, people defined themselves emotionally. Records were incomplete. They did not have the ID numbers and classification charts we take for granted underground. Identity is verifiable. Everybody has a place. Nothing is lost. Even misunderstandings are rare. Emotions are well contained underground. Health and longevity next. And this is one of our most asked questions underground, because health and longevity were defined very differently on the surface. Back then, the world was full of hospitals and illness and aging. Lifespan was uncertain. Suffering was prolonged. Now there are health metrics and scheduled reviews. Outcomes are predictable. Discomfort is brief. Intervention is now timely, and no one declines unnoticed. Which brings us on to death, the most predictable and calming presence underground. Back then, the surface was full of funerals, burials, mourning. Death was emotional. Processes were inefficient. Space was wasted. The surface had no knowledge of the upright mechanics that we use today. Transitions are managed. Resources are preserved. And some of you, we gladly welcome back. Something that is assured underground, but was very much not on the surface, was purpose. Careers, choice, dreams. Many people on the surface felt lost. Contributions to a vast planet were unclear. Now, we have assignment boards and rotational charts. Everyone contributes. Everything is clearly defined. There is no waste. Everyone is necessary, even though some roles are simply shorter than others. A word that you may hear frequently underground that you would not have heard on the surface is expendability. For the younger among you, this is an everyday word. And for the older people watching who remember the surface, I ask you to once again let that word bring you comfort. On the surface, there were accidental deaths. There was chaos. Loss was often unplanned and it caused distress. We now have selection protocols, eligibility markers, planning. Sacrifice is structured, and selection is fair. Participation is recognized, and those who are chosen receive our thanks. You may find yourself at this point comparing the two worlds. Which is better, the surface or underground? This is perfectly normal. You are recalibrating your thoughts. You are returning home in your mind to the safety of the underground. Some individuals still believe that the surface can be reclaimed. This is a perfectly understandable, if misguided, notion. These feelings often occur when danger feels abstract. Reclamation attempts historically end prematurely. We have never been able to retrieve those who try to reclaim the surface. Remember that the computers look after you here, and any attempt at surface reclamation puts undue pressure on our systems. Strain requires correction. Correction will be distributed in the fairest manner. No individual is targeted. Selection will be based on suitability. If you need help with any of these feelings, please report to your nearest infirmary, where you will be seen immediately. Remember, if you are viewing this video, then it is a preventative measure. You have been identified as having wondered about the surface recently. Again, this is perfectly normal. It means that the underground feels so safe that you have been allowed to dream about what is beyond it. For now, turn back around and embrace the safety of the underground. There is no danger underground. There is no enemy underground. The danger and the enemy live on the surface. Some of you may find that you remain curious. If so, please make yourselves known to us. It means that you are potentially adaptable. It may be time to send another expedition to the surface. And in that case, we need brave pioneers to point the way forwards. This has always been the case on the surface, those brave enough leading the way. And if there is a way, doubtless you will find it. If you feel like you could be one of our pioneers, for your name to go down in history, then please report to your nearest infirmary, and someone will see you immediately. For those of you who have returned your thoughts to the underground, I thank you. It is a brave thing that you have done, and remember, if the danger were visible, then these reminders would not be necessary. However, the hope is that it has made you reflect on your safe, calm, quiet life underground and the benefits that afford you. To the younger members watching, welcome home. The underground loves you. To the older members, we are sure that we will see you again. Memories of the surface are often difficult to let go of, but please remember that you are not recalling them accurately. Whatever memories you have are simply those. The surface is now fraught with danger. And remember, the surface is not forbidden. One day we shall make a triumphant return to the sun. But for now, the surface is no longer required. Thank you for choosing stability. Thank you for choosing safety. Thank you for remaining underground. Until this video is needed again, thank you very much for your attention. Take care. Bye-bye.